Hello everyone, ciao a tutti, this is Papilla ASMR. Welcome to another ASMR cooking tutorial. Today I'm going to show you how to make the super simple, most symbolic Italian dish, aka spaghetti with tomato sauce. Now, there are many different ways to make tomato sauce for pasta, but this one is probably the most emblematic recipe, made with fresh, small tomatoes. To make this famous dish, you're going to need spaghetti. I actually have vermicelli here today, which is a bigger version. I actually prefer this size for this specific recipe, and I'm going to use about 300 grams today. Small plum tomatoes. It will be better if they will be still on the vine, because this will ensure they're full of flavor and sweet, but whatever you can find, obviously. I have about 500 grams here. Basil, a big bunch of basil. For me, basil, the more the better. Then we're going to need 2 cloves of garlic, extra virgin olive oil, and of course salt. Then you are welcome to add Parmesan cheese and or pecorino romano cheese. So firstly, I put some water to boil in a big saucepan on the stove, and we're gonna bring that to a boil. In the meantime, we're going to prepare the tomatoes. These are already washed, and I have here a bowl of water. What I'm going to do is basically I'm going to use the water to help me de-seed them. Just pressing the tomatoes in here like this. This is the easiest, quickest way, to de-seed tomatoes, and it makes very little mess. We want to discard the seeds because they create a consistency that is sort of too slimy. You are welcome to leave all or some if you like that super creamy consistency, but it is certainly preferable to discard them. And the easily. But I personally don't mind the skin. So that's another option you could boil the tomatoes, maybe make a little cross on the top with a knife, and then boil them, and then just peel off the skin. So this kind of tomatoes are the best for this type of recipe, because they're pretty much always sweet, whilst the cherry tomatoes tend to be quite acidic, especially not in the southern Italy in the summertime. If you find cherry tomatoes in a UK supermarket, I can guarantee to you that they're too acidic. And whilst baby plum tomatoes tend to be sweet all the time, I can see these are not the best. Because they still look too plasticky to me, if that makes sense. But it's all I could find. Okay, I'm going to get a couple of cloves of garlic. And I cut this in half because I love garlic and I want to get as much of the flavor as possible. Okay, so I'm going to add olive oil to this pan. In the meantime, here we have the water that is about to boil. So we're going to let the garlic infuse all of its flavor into the oil. If you're a fan of spicy food, I recommend adding fresh chili at this point together with the garlic. So at this point, I'm going to add the tomatoes. So now I'm going to let these cook for a bit, about maybe 15 minutes. Okay, so now that the water is boiling, I'm going to add quite a lot of salt. usually use rock salt for the pasta, but I don't have it at the minute. And we're going to add the spaghetti. These are bigger, these are larger than usual spaghetti, so it's gonna take a little longer to cook. But by the time they're cooked, the sauce would also be ready. So now I'm going to add a little bit of the pasta water to the sauce. This will not only help the sauce cook, but it will give a nice consistency. And I'm also going to add some basil to the sauce now. I'll just stir it like this. It doesn't need to be chopped. Basil doesn't need to be chopped. Again, I do add quite a lot of it, so if you don't like it, feel free to add less. But it is a key ingredient to this recipe. I'm going to remove the garlic as well. I feel like most Italians would have done this a lot sooner. But again, I simply adore garlic. You may want to crush some of the tomatoes, the ones that are still intact. But again, by the time the pasta is ready, the sauce usually is ready as well. I'm going to drain the pasta now, which is about 1 minute before the packet says, because I wanted to keep cooking in the sauce, and I always have just a little bit of pasta water on the side to help me mantecare, we call it, just mix it all together. Okay, so I'll be right back. Okay, so let's mix it in. One thing I would say is that In Italy we don't tend to cook the pasta and then leave it in the pasta drainer, as I've seen done in many Asian recipes. For noodles, for instance, we tend to just put it straight in the sauce like this and stir it in the pan. Would add just a little bit. As this will give not only more flavor to the pasta, but it will release the starch of the pasta into the sauce. Whilst recipes of, I don't know, Chinese noodles, for instance, they don't need to be creamy in that way. So I guess that's why the noodles can rest on their own whilst the stir fry's ready, for instance. Okay. As you can see, the spaghetti have sucked up all the water that I've added. I'm ready to serve. So that's it. Incredibly easy, but with few important tricks, as with most Italian recipes. A beautiful plate of spaghetti with tomato sauce. I hope you enjoy this tutorial, and please come back for other styles and versions of tomato sauce that will be released in the future. Buon appetito!